What is it, Flipback? I'm going to be talking about something that really pisses me off about Marvel or any of the superhero shows recently. So every fucking article, every fucking movie, everything that surrounds every new superhero movie is like, this is going to be the best movie ever, or this is going to reset the MCU or the DCEU. And this is why it pisses me off. Do we need a reset on DCU? Yes. I believe that because they went into the whole team up movie, the whole Justice League movie way too early. They didn't do what made Marvel successful is that they took their time building up to the Avengers movie. They didn't go balls deep instantly into doing the team up movie like the DCEU did. That's where the DCEU failed. That they didn't set up Batman. They only set up Superman. They didn't set up Ezra Miller's Flash, which thank God they didn't because obviously, but they're gonna reset the movies, which I think that's a smart idea. The problem is that Marvel sees this and is like, "Oh, let's do this. Let's do that." You can't. You cannot do that. Everything for the past decades, the 2 decades, whatever, that we've been building up this universe is going to just be wiped out and replaced with the new Marvel. No, because people loved the originals. You can't look at your mistakes and be like, let's reset it. Let's just forget everything that you knew about the MCU. We don't need a reset. We need good fucking writers. They're blaming us, right? They're blaming us. And they're blaming the story. No, the story is fine. You're going off of the comics. The comics are the canon, in a lot of our opinion. And if you make movies about the comics that are based off of the comics, then that's a canon movie. What the comics did was that they killed off the Avengers to build up to the young Avengers, like the kids who take over the mantle of the original Avengers. That storyline works. What they were going for after Infinity War could have worked. Why it didn't work for fans is because of the fucking woke shit you tried to pull. Not because we wanted the original Avengers to stay alive for thousands of years. That's impossible. And we knew that eventually Iron Man was going to die. We knew eventually that Captain America was going to die. We knew eventually that our original cast was going to die eventually. It just wasn't written good. It had nothing to do with us wanting the superheroes to stay alive forever. Where you guys failed, where the writers failed, is when you decided that, oh, it needs to be women are the future. Which, granted, women can be written good. But unfortunately, the writers that were paid by Marvel are shit writers and only care about the fact that the character is a woman. Doesn't care about the past, doesn't care about the woman's story. It just cares about the fact that the character is a woman. And that's where you failed. That's where the writers failed. Not because you killed off the series, not because you killed off the originals. It's because you cannot write a good fucking character. Because all you care about is gender. And all you care about is race. So essentially these writers are fighting against themselves. They claim that adding more women to the MCU will kill off, sexism and racism. No, it just enables it. Because essentially, what you're admitting is that you only care about that a character is a woman. That's why you're adding all of these women into the MCU. You know, um, like a lot of the superheroes that are being introduced are women. And I don't know if anybody else can see this, but I can see them. I can see what they're trying to do. I see what they're trying to do. They're killing off all the guy characters, so then they can slowly creep in the MCU, which is the feminist era of the MCU. Granted, I'm not against feminism. I'm against it being forced down every media's throat. Like, Black Widow, for instance, was a good fucking role model for young girls. Same with Wanda to a certain extent. But guess what they fucking did? Guess what they did to those characters? They killed off Black Widow, and they made Wanda the villain. Why did they do it? Because they weren't in full control of those characters and their complete storyline. It's about power. It's about control over the media that they're making. They looked at Wanda's past and was like, okay, let's just make her a villain because, she's not our woman. That woman was written by a man, so let's completely wipe that character and kill her off. Because isn't it funny that the only woman that survived was the woman that was written to be a Mary Sue? Just saying. I'm just saying that it's a little bit peculiar. What I think will be ironic is that the original MCU, the original Avengers, like the Avengers they're trying to build up, will fail. But it would be so funny if the Thunderbolts survive, specifically because they're written good and they were built up over the years. That would be the most hilarious thing, in my opinion. But yeah, we don't need a reset. We need good writers. Keep going with the story that the Avengers have died out and we are now introducing the Young Avengers. Because you're introducing Kang. So now introduce the Young Avengers. Build up the Young Avengers before you do the Kang shit. Like, keep Kang in the background like you did with Thanos, right? Make Kang have, like, only post-credit scenes, and then whenever you want to build up, like, to the Kang dynasty, then you make the movie. Then you make the Kang movie where you have to defeat Kang. The problem with this is that I believe after the Kang dynasty, that's when the MCU dies out. That's when the MCU should end. Because where can you go after that? Fighting Galactus? I believe that we have two more big bads in us until we completely check out of the MCU. And yeah. Because there's only two more, like, massive bad guys that you can do, in the story. I believe that they'll bring back the Avengers to fight Galactus, and that'll be the final movie. That'll be the end of the MCU. And then restart it, and then make your own Avengers movies and stuff, okay? Don't just cut off a storyline. Don't just cut off the MCU because you can't write good. And stop blaming the fucking fans that your movies are failing. Madam Web was shit. You want to know why it was shit? None of the Spider-Men that we love showed up. But you want to know who did show up? Your own Spider characters. Sony, you have the rights to Spider-Man. You don't have to cut corners like they are with the Chandler Riggs movie. They're not calling it Spider-Man because they legally can't. You don't have to cut corners. You can use Spider-Man. You can use Spider-Man and his characters and make good movies. Stop cutting corners to make a woman movie. And it's not about the fact that these characters are women. Personally, some of the best characters that I favorite in any type of media have been women. Jinx, Toga. And I'm just saying that it needs to stop. This shit truly needs to stop. Because if you keep making movies specifically because women, you're going to fail. And fans are never going to forgive you. And if you do reset your world, then they're not going to check into your new MCU. You're not going to be as successful as the MCU. But if you make good movies leading up to the finale of MCU, if you recover from this, people might check into your new universe. It'll be scary for some fans to watch a new universe, but they'll have faith in you. But if you keep going at the rate you're going, if you keep making Captain Marvel movies, keep making She-Hulk movies, if you keep making fucking any of those movies, fans aren't going to want to check in. Fans are going to be like, okay, it's just going to be another woke mess, and we're not going to do this. Notice how What If was good, was well received by fans. Until the end. Because you Mary sued the fuck out of Captain Carter. I forgot, Peggy Carter. You Mary sued the second season. The first season was fine because guess what? They didn't write the female characters specifically to write female characters. They actually gave a reason to, and the reason is that fans want to see what the world would be like if Captain Britt was Peggy Carter, or if Peggy Carter was the Captain America. Roles reversed, you know? People want that. What they don't want is Captain Marvel being a snarky bitch that thinks that she's all-powerful. I'm sorry if I sound like an incel. I'm not an incel. I don't care if there's women in my media. I don't care. As long as they're written good. That's it. Anyway, sorry this was longer than I thought, but I got this from Tyrone Magnus because I heard that the Captain America 4 is going to reset the MCU. It just pissed me off because it's like, that's not what we need. We just need good writers. And that's basically, in summary, we just want good writers. We don't want the MCU to be reset because then that'll be erasing everything. But what do you guys think? Let me know. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.